Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Tonight I have some really good news. I think Willie is there. Now in my jars they're kind of big, so it's kind of hard to tell, but he has doubled in size. I got a better dry erase marker last night and marked them up, and he's doubled in size, and I can visibly see bubbles all throughout from top to bottom. And he smells, well, he smells hungry. But behind the slight alcohol-y smell is just a little bit of sweetness, and it smells like yeast. Now Waylon, on the other hand, he's doing something, so I don't think he's too far behind. So I fully anticipate feeding him tonight and him showing out like Willie probably overnight. Or when I have to leave, I'll come home and I'll check him and see what he's doing. If he's doubled after we feed tonight, then I will snap a picture and put it in the comments. I hope that you have enjoyed this. We may go like one more night because after this point, today is day 8 and we'll need to feed. I would suggest going the full 14 days. So if you're on the same feeding schedule that I am, you'll be on day 8 today, day 9 tomorrow, and day 10 on Thursday. Ideally, somewhere between now and Thursday, hopefully your starter has bubbled, and after feeding, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours, doubles in size. I would not cook with them until after, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of Tuesday of next week, because that'll be a full 14 days if you're on the same schedule as me. But just know that if you're bubbly and doubling and smelling pleasant, I would wait till after the full 14 days of discard and feeding before I use the discard for anything other than going in the trash. So let's take the tops off and let's take a look at them, and I'll show you a couple of things to look for since we've got one at the ready. All right, so let's look at Willie first. He is dimply and bubbly and smells very pleasant. And I'm going to just put my spoon in and see how he's stretching and see how the bubbles kind of stretch away. And he's very slow moving, very slow moving. So that's what you want to look for, just that kind of open. See, it almost looks like really wet bread dough when it separates. Then you have the other markers, which are the smell and the bubbles all throughout. So let's look at Waylon. And Waylon has a lot of bubble action going on, but he is not as stretchy. He's still kind of stringy and gooey. See the difference? When you scoop Waylon up, he doesn't separate. The bubbles don't separate like they do on Willie. So he's getting there. He smells pretty pleasant. And when I say that they smell hungry, that just means they have a slight kind of alcohol-y fermented smell to them, but nothing like what we've experienced thus far. All right, so let's get our discard bowl with our bag. And I'll probably have to maybe help both of them along, but we'll see. We'll give them a chance. We'll pour out half a Willie first. I'll scrape him down in a minute, and then we'll pour out half a Waylon. Waylon's a little stickier, so I may have to help him along. Nope, here he comes. See, he's a little slower moving because he's a little gooier. He's not as foamy, not as stretchy. All right. I'm just going to wipe my finger off. And we're going to do the same thing we've done every night. We are going to put this in the trash. And we want to do this until we are at the full 14 days. And the full 14 days just means that we have a good, well-fed, enriched starter. So we're going to do Tanner's trick tonight. I'm going to heat up my tepid water while I'm scraping down the sides, because we want all that goodness to come down to the bottom. And if y'all have any questions, ask them in the comments. Big D is monitoring comments. But I know at this point it's kind of the same song and dance every night, right? All right, so we are getting our tepid water, not hot, not cold, just a little warmer than your own body temperature. Think of, well, you might have had like some big gadgets and stuff, but in the old days when we used to heat up a bottle, we would do it, you know, in a glass of like tepid water. No, I take that back. We would do it in warm water, but you would squirt the bottle on your wrist, and as long as you didn't feel hot or cold, and that's what you're looking for here. So we're gonna mix in just a splash of water in each before we add our flour. Tanner gave us a really good tip. Do this last night so that you don't have any dry spots. And that kind of dilutes your starter and gets it ready to mix in the feed, which is the flour. All right, we're gonna do a little bit here, and I'm gonna add just about a half a scoop extra to each one. And we're gonna see what that looks like. And you can mix this with a metal spoon. Yes, you can. I've seen lots of people say that they've been a little intimidated by using a metal spoon. All right, I need just a splash more water in Willie. Just so he can stretch his legs. And Waylon actually looks good with what I put in him. So I'm just mixing tonight with the metal spoon just so you can see that it's okay to do it. I like using the I like using the spatula better because that way I don't have to wash as many dishes, because I use the spatula to scrape down the sides and get it relatively clean. What is it? Oh, and I broke the jar. All right, so we might have to transfer Willie to another jar. See what I did there? I broke the jar. So what we'll do is we'll carefully take out the half that's over here in case there's glass in the half that's over there. Let me grab another jar. And if something like that happens to you, don't panic, okay? Because we can safely stay away from where the glass may be, and then I'm going to run my finger through it just to make sure there's none. Okay. See, I kind of like it when things like this unexpected happen, because a lot of times we get kind of upset whenever we have, like when we spill milk in the kitchen. I'll just use that as a good analogy, right? And there's no crying over spilt milk, no crying over broken jars. All right, I'm gonna carefully put broken Willie in the sink. And guess what, guys? We're fed. I don't have to do anything different to this. I've already ran my finger through it, all good, and there's no glass in there. And as long as he doubles in size, we're good, because he's still starter, he's still been fed, he's just lowered in bulk. So we've got a discard from our feeding pretty much. So that may, if you do use a metal spoon, you want to be a little more careful than I was. How about that? Or you might not want to buy a cheap jar. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm going to set these in the back over here because I'll need to be careful with my workspace up here. I got glass up here. So we'll put the lids on in a minute. And that just shows you that you can pretty much recover from just about anything, right? If you do happen to bust your jar, because that's liable to happen, right? Anytime you're handling any glass in the kitchen, that's a kind of a given that it can happen. And if you do, you just want to make sure that you are safe, that you don't do anything to cut yourself. Probably fishing through the the starter like I did with my hands was probably not the greatest idea, but I wanted to ensure that I didn't have any in the remnants of the starter that I had. However, if you wanted to err on the side of caution, you could just trash the whole thing and start over. See, in 8 days, we started with the whole wheat flour, and he came up to fermentation first. So I would say that my conclusion would be that if you start with a good whole wheat unbleached flour, that you'll probably ferment faster than you will when you do the unbleached. That's going to be my scientific conclusion. But over the next few days, as I feed Willie, I'm going to check him for safety and make sure that there's no glass in there. Or, you know what, I may just discard him altogether and just nurture Waylon and get till he comes in into full bloom. We'll probably go live one more time tomorrow night on day 9, just so we can see how Waylon's doing and if Willie survived the night. We may not use Willie, we may just use Willie to continue with the experiment since we've had this new unexpected thing happen, so that you guys can see what a fully fermented sourdough starter will do even when you cut it in half like we did tonight. But we probably won't use him to cook with. So if you, no matter what day you're on, post your pictures. You can direct message them to me of your sourdough starter and let me know where you are. As usual, if you have any questions after this video is over, you can direct message me to those, or you can put them in the comments here and I will answer them later on this evening. Y'all, if you haven't already, make sure that you head over to thebutteredhome.com. We've got some great recipes over there. And while you're there, make sure that you sign up for our VIP email list. So, prime example, today for however many hours, everybody probably on God's green earth lost their Facebook. As much as I love being here with you on Facebook, I'm not in control of how often you see my things come up in your feed, or if you're going to get up and check Facebook and it's going to be down for no apparent reason, and everybody in the world, including myself, thought that they had been hacked. Because they couldn't get in their account. That's precisely why you need to join my VIP email list. Because if the social media bottom falls out permanently, you won't know how to get to my content. But my content's still there because I have a website that I own and that I maintain. And in order for you to stay in the know or keep up with me, that's the best place to do it. And the VIP email list always hears about things we have going on first. So if today wasn't a good catalyst, I don't know what will be. Get on that VIP email list so that if the social media world just flies out the window, we won't be lost. We can still find one another. I have a prior commitment tonight that I need to hit the road and drive in the rain too. So y'all have a wonderful night from me and Big D here at The Buttered Home. We sure love y'all. Bye.